What's up, guys? My name is Gabe, and welcome back to the Trojan Blade. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is the instant reaction to USC's 33-17 win over Purdue. This was a crazy game. A lot of weird stuff went down tonight. And yeah, that's right, tonight. There was a crazy long delay, and there was just a whole bunch of weirdness. So before we do get into it, if you are enjoying the videos, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys being here. Now let's get into the instant reaction. First things first, everybody that got so mad at me and yelled at me and told me I was an idiot because I predicted this game to be close. My score prediction was 27-14. I wasn't too far off, and I said that we were not going to cover. The writing was just on the wall for this to be a weird, close game. And that's what we saw tonight, but not in the way I had envisioned. And this team hasn't really unfolded the way I envisioned at the start of the season. I had more concerns with the offense than the defense. That has completely flipped as we've started this season. Getting into the positives first, though, let's talk about Jaden Maiava. So, a word that Lincoln Riley has been using to describe both Jaden and the team overall, and I think it's a word that makes so much sense, it's steady. Jaden Maiava has been steady in every single one of these games. I don't think he's made one play that's completely dazzled anybody, but he stacks good play on good play, and then by the end of the day, you have some damn good numbers and you have a W to go home with. He doesn't need to be Caleb Williams back there. That's not what he's being asked to do. He's being asked to operate the offense, make a few high leverage throws a game, and don't turn the ball over, and he checked every single box tonight. Now, there were two throws that should have been interceptions, hit defenders straight in the hands, really bad decisions, bad ball placement. So we got to get that cleaned up. But overall, he had a very steady night. I thought early in the game he was a little tentative with running the ball. He didn't look comfortable doing it. He didn't look like he wanted to do it. But as this game wore on, he got more and more decisive, more and more physical, and he put his shoulder down. He scored a very important touchdown and picked up a couple very big first downs as well. Now, the receivers were good tonight. We pretty much completely went away from Jacoby Lane to the second half. But when you go through the stat sheet, the second leading receiver is Lake McCree. 3 receptions for 67 yards. Very much in the way we saw in the first few games of last year, Lake McCree has come back into form, and he is abusing that seam route, and Jaden's hitting him in stride. They look very comfortable together. Jaden looks much more comfortable throwing to the middle of the field. And yeah, overall pretty good from the receivers. But again, I did find it strange just how we went away from Jacoby Lane in that second half. Now, the running back room, I think that this group was very much affected by that long delay, because Wayman Jordan in the first half was slow, he was sluggish. It looked like he was running in quicksand. He wasn't decisive. He was almost too patient, if we're being honest. Eli Sanders, on the other hand, was seeing it, very explosive and very decisive. Now, as the game wore on and Wayman wore them down, you saw those bigger runs start to open up. He was running very physical, putting his foot in the ground and cutting upfield. He got better as the game wore on. And with the running game, what did we see in the fourth quarter? Lincoln Riley was running the hell out of the football. Exactly what we've been dying to see as USC fans for 3 years now. We finally got it in this game. It was late in the game. It was closer than any of us wanted, but we pounded the ball and we put this game away the way we had to. On first watch, it looked like that the offensive line did okay, and I think that's where they're going to hover for the entirety of the season. I don't think we're going to be an elite offensive line. I just don't. But in that same note, I trust Lincoln Riley to scheme around that, just like we saw tonight. I thought Lincoln Riley's play calling, particularly on fourth downs, was very good, aside from that first drive that stalled in the red zone. But this was definitely a very good performance from Lincoln calling plays. All right, let's rip this Band-Aid off. Let's talk about the Trojan defense next. First off, shout out to Ryan Brown, Purdue's quarterback. That is a tough kid. He hung in there and delivered some really difficult balls. He was getting hit over and over again, so shout out to him. That was a gutsy performance. And there were some positives on defense. Our defensive ends are really good. Our pass rush, really good. Eric Gentry, obviously really good. Eric Gentry on the day, 8 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, an absolute beast. He was flying around everywhere. He is Mr. Dependable. You know what you're going to get from him. Insane production. And also, Bishop Fitzgerald, my player of the game. Now, is Bishop perfect? No, he was not. With him, you're going to get the good, you're going to get the bad. But his good tonight pretty much saved us the game. I don't know where we would have been without those 2 interceptions. They were driving the ball both times, getting close to the end zone, and he made a fantastic individual effort on both of those plays. Bishop is instinctive, Bishop is creative, and Bishop is not afraid to be hyper-aggressive and jump routes to pick off the ball. Absolutely my player of the game. I don't even want to know where this game was going if he was not on the field. But having said all that good stuff, there are some foundational problems on this defense. First off, we lack discipline. This is the second week in a row. Hands to the face, pass interference. By the way, don't worry, I will circle back to the refs at the end of this. Just want to get through the defense first. Got a lot to say about that. But the terrible penalties that this defense took, it continued in this one. I thought Desmond Stevens was better than he was against Georgia Southern and Missouri State, but we're still not there yet, not where he needs to be. I really liked what we saw from Jaden Walker. That kid comes on the field and he makes an immediate impact. He is flying around. He is a heat-seeking missile. And like every coach under the sun has said, if you're going to make a mistake, make it at full speed, and that's how Jaden plays. It's a Big Ten-style linebacker and a guy that without a doubt has to be on the field much more going forward. And the secondary. I'm just going to come out and say it plain and simple. Our secondary is bad. This is not a good unit. The corners in particular were very, very bad in this game. And I remember in the offseason, I was going over who could be the starting corner. And at the time, I said that DeCarlos Nicholson is your number one corner, you're in trouble. And it's not because DeCarlos is a bad player. He's absolutely not. He's just not a number one corner. He's a very good complementary piece. So when he is your number one corner, he's going to give up some completions. We've seen that throughout his career. And I thought Chasen Johnson had the best appearance of any other corner. And I'm not sure if this was schematic or if it's just our guys aren't very good, but it was really rough for Marcellus Williams. I mean, just completion after completion after completion. They were picking on him in that second half. DJ Harvey, not good enough. Kamari Ramsey has just fallen off the map production-wise ever since he made the move to nickel. I know we don't have anyone else there. And Christian Pierce had some good moments at safety. He absolutely did. That big sack was a great thing to see. Having said that, not having Kamari Ramsey there and not having that production, not having his big playability, I think that's for sure hurting the secondary as well. And it's a funny concept because our defensive ends were getting home. Hell, even our interior guys had a pretty good pass rush in this game. But the corners were getting beat so quickly that the pass rush didn't matter. Unless you're getting there in half a second, Ryan Brown was going to complete a pass. Like, it was instantaneous that these guys were open. So it doesn't matter how good Cam Fountain is. It doesn't matter how good Devin Tompkins is playing. Like, you need to cover for at least a few seconds. And we didn't see that in a vast majority of this game. I have no idea how I've gone this long without mentioning the Jamal Jarrett pick six. It's really funny because it wasn't his best rep up until the pick. But man, when he got the ball, he was absolutely hustling as fast as he could go, which isn't very fast, but it was fast enough. I was absolutely laughing my ass off watching that. One of the most bizarre plays I've ever seen. It took my brain a few seconds to fully comprehend what I was watching. Like, he was just moving in slow-mo. And I was waiting for the buck to drop. I was like, there's no way he's going to be untouched to just run into the end zone from 70 yards out. But man, that's what happened. So happy for him. He's going to remember that for the rest of his life. And that feels like a moment we'll be talking about as fans as well. And I know he had the doink, but Ryan Sayeri, considering that's our backup kicker, that's pretty damn fantastic. 4 of 5 on the day, 3 of 3 on extra points. You hate to have that miss, but he was very good for us. He's been very good for us the entire season. Extremely thrilled with him. Now, let's talk about these absolutely atrocious Big Ten officials. I don't know why I'm surprised. We saw it last year. The amount of holding that they let other teams get away with against us, it's egregious. It's awful. It prevents our interior defensive linemen from being able to extend their arms to make tackles. It happened to Devin Tompkins at least 5 times tonight. It was happening to Anthony Lucas. It was happening to Cam Fountain. It happened to everybody. It was so frustrating to watch. They had that phantom holding call against us. They let Purdue get a playoff even though the clock ran down to 2 minutes in the second quarter. It wasn't just one-sided. We got some pretty favorable calls too. Like, these refs were just incompetent the entire night. I remember when we were in the Pac-12 and Big Ten fans on Twitter would be like, you guys don't know what bad officiating is until you get to our conference. And of course, as Pac-12ers, we're all like, no, you guys have no idea. Turns out they were right. Somehow it's worse. I don't know how that's possible, but somehow they managed it. Now, looking at the team stats, a few concerning ones. This popped up last week against Georgia Southern as well, but we allowed 23 first downs tonight. 7 of 14 on third down, only gave up 1 fourth down conversion on 1 attempt, but we're allowing a lot of first downs. We're not giving up any explosives, but we're getting dinked and dunked to death. But as tough and gutsy of a player that I think Ryan Brown is, I think we gave up too many passing yards tonight for my liking. We already talked about the secondary. Got to get that cleaned up. But the big one is the penalties. 9 for 103 for us. Now, were some of those bullshit? Yes, they were. Still, got to be much more disciplined going forward. Now, what do I think about this team now that I've seen us play a semi-legitimate opponent? In the grand scheme of things of where this team stands, I haven't changed. Still exactly the same, actually. 8-4 is what this team looks like. Don't think we're a playoff caliber team by any means. I think we showed that tonight. Like, we don't face that many scary quarterbacks or receiving cores for that matter. But like, if this version of the USC secondary plays against Oregon, it's going to be a very long day at the office for us. Like Bryce Underwood, he makes a lot of bonehead freshman plays, but that kid is ridiculously talented. Luke Altmaier at Illinois is a damn good player. Like, we have to get our shit together on defense. This was supposed to be the strength of the team. Now, I don't think anyone had the secondary being the strength of the team or even the defense for that matter, but it was so lackluster in this game. We simply have to get better in that area. But yeah, guys, that is my instant reaction to USC's 33-17 win over Purdue. Glad to get our first road win in conference, and obviously very glad to be 3-0 as well. Now, please do let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Would love to hear where you guys are with this. And if you did happen to enjoy the video, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate you guys being here. You're all awesome, and as always, take care and fight on.